Okay.
Well, it's almost 6 and everybody's quiet, so we might as well get started. Welcome to the Pasco County School District School Board meeting for this evening, September 17th. Please turn off your cell phones for us, and I shall read the vision statement that all our students achieve success in college, career, and life. The thought for the evening will be presented by Colleen Bodwin.
And we have cameras tonight, so I better make it a good one. All right, last week I finished reading The Energy Bus by John Gordon, and he writes about the 10 rules to fuel your life, work, and team with positive energy. So this goes right along with the presentation we had in our workshop today, so I'm glad I picked it. So he uses an analogy about building positive culture and improving teamwork by comparing it to driving a bus. So here are the 10 rules for the ride of your life. Number 1, you are the driver of your bus. Number 2, desire, vision, and focus move your bus in the right direction. Number 3, fuel your ride with positive energy. Number 4, invite people on your bus and share your vision for the road ahead. Number 5, don't waste your energy on those who don't get on the bus. Number 6, put a sign that says no energy vampires allowed on your bus. 7, enthusiasm attracts more passengers and energizes them during the ride. Number 8, love your passengers. Number 9, drive with purpose. And number 10, have fun and enjoy the ride.
Thank you. Stand for the pledge, please. And for the record, roll call, all board members are present this evening. I would like to ask for a moment of silence, and unfortunately, we have lost 2 members of our family, our school district family. One is if you could be aware for the family of Oma Pantridge, who passed away unexpectedly. She retired in 2009 and was the former director of the Exceptional Student Ed Department. Also for the family of Gordon Leffingwell, he was a beloved crossing guard at Longleaf Elementary. Okay, thank you. Approval of the minutes for the regular meeting of September 10th, 2019, and workshop of September 10th, 2019. I would need a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Moving next to public hearings. Our first one, 3.1, Pasco County District School Board Policy Update, Policy 9150, public hearing. I'm going to turn it over to our attorney, Dennis Alfonso.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ladies and gentlemen, this is to announce the public comment portion of the District School Board of Pasco County Policy Update, Policy number 9150. Notice of this particular public hearing has been posted on the district website and in publications in compliance with Florida statutes. Any members of the public who wish to be heard on the District School Board's policy update regarding Policy 9150 should have already completed a green speaker request form that you can obtain from the entry lobby of the board meeting. When your name is called, please approach the podium and state your name and address for the record. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to speak unless an extension is granted by the board chair. I note, ladies and gentlemen, that there were no green cards that were received at this point in time. Notwithstanding, it is a public hearing, so if there's anyone who is present now that wants to be heard on this proposition, now would be the time to come forward. So is there anyone who wants to be heard on this matter? Madam Chair, let the record reflect that no one is approaching the podium.
Okay, so the public hearing is now closed on District School Board Policies Update, Policy 9150, and we are not taking a vote this evening. The next item, 3.2, is a public hearing on the 5-year district facilities work plan, and I believe the superintendent wants to speak on that.
Yes, ma'am. Very quickly, the 5-year district facilities work plan is something that usually accompanies the budget. The Florida Department of Education has been having issues with the portal that's required to upload that plan in. This 5-year work plan is due October 1st. There has been some discussion about the portal not being available until after October 1st. We have not publicly noticed this in the required ad in the newspaper. It has been noticed through the agenda. That being the case, when the portal is open, we will then bring the 5-year district facilities work plan to the board for approval and then upload it to the board once we have the public hearing to do so. But I believe the attorney wants to make a comment.
So the brief comment I'd like to make is, given those pieces of information, if there's anyone who's present here tonight and determined to speak on this issue, if you came to speak on this issue, it was noticed on the agenda as a public hearing. So if there's anyone who's present to be heard on that proposition, certainly identify yourself now so that you can either speak now or you can be recognized. Madam Chair, let the record reflect that no one is approaching the podium.
Okay, so we are closing that for now until the update. Next item on the agenda, 3.3, final public hearing on proposed annual budget for 2019 and 2020. And again, I'm turning it over to the superintendent.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the board. Tonight, the board is adopting the 2019-2020 fiscal year budget. You are required by law to adopt the millage rates that you tentatively adopted on July 30th. And once these millage rates are adopted, the district will certify them to the property appraiser to begin the notice to residents for the upcoming tax year. Additionally, the district is required to certify the adopted budget to the Florida Department of Education. That being said, the 2019-20 proposed budget is $1,397,590, an increase of $136.2 million over last year's budget. The budget includes a general operating budget of $666.7 million and a capital budget of $341.4 million. The total tax millage for the 2019-2020 fiscal year is 6.101 mils, a decrease of 0.178 mils. Under the proposed rate, a homeowner of a $175,000 home, after the deduction for the $25,000 homestead exemption, would pay $26.70 less per year than they did last year. The general operating budget increased from $631.3 million to $664.5 million. The district receives additional funds totaling $27,815,960 in state funds to accommodate our projected growth of 1,294 students and recurring expenses. Out of the $27.8 million, $9.3 million is set aside for categorical programs, the Best and Brightest program, and the Turnaround Supplemental Services. The Best and Brightest allocation was added to the FEFP formula this year as a new categorical. It was previously reported as an individual allocation outside the FEFP. Funds will be used for bonuses for eligible newly hired teachers, effective and highly effective teachers, and principals. The Turnaround Supplemental Services allocation will be used to offer services designed to improve the overall academic and community welfare of the students and families at these turnaround schools. The remaining funds, totaling $18.5 million, will be used for cost increases for retirement, school choice enrollment, property insurance, utilities, school resource officers contracts, Project Rise, and the allocation of 36.7 school allocations and 5 district allocations. The budget includes a 3% salary increase for all employees, and it includes all the increases to our insurance benefits package. The district continues to cover 100% of our employees' insurance premiums. The capital budget is $341.4 million, an increase of $89.4 million over last year. The largest capital project appropriations are for the renovation and remodeling of Zephyr High School, the construction of Cypress Creek Middle School, and the Starkey K-8 School, the design and construction of a new technical high school, and classroom wings at Sun Lake High School and Bexley Elementary School. The budget also includes funds to lease purchase computers and buses, and to continue with the district's recurring maintenance, capital maintenance projects, and the completion of the renovation remodeling of Land O'Lakes High School. The 2019-2020 budget reflects fiscal priorities which prioritizes and supports student achievement and sets aside funds to provide a salary and benefits package increase to all of our employees. Additionally, it is designed to ensure the smooth delivery of effective school operations while prioritizing the needs of our students and community. As you all know, the budget is a living document and continuously changes as the year progresses. Budget amendments will be submitted to the board to reflect any changes to the budget documents once they are adopted by this board. That being said, Madam Chairman and members, I'm respectfully requesting your approval of the 2019-2020 fiscal year budget as presented.
Okay, and as this is a final public hearing, I'm going to turn this again over to our attorney, Mr. Alfonso.
Thank you. Madam Chair, ladies and gentlemen, this is to announce the public comment portion of the second of two public hearings on the Pasco County School Board tentative millage rates and budget for the 2019-2020 fiscal year. The first hearing on this matter was held on July 30th, 2019, and this is the second and final public hearing. Notice of this public hearing was posted on the district website and in publication of general circulation in Pasco County in compliance with Florida Statute 1011.03. Any member of the public who wishes to be heard on the budget is asked to have already completed a green public speaker request card that you can obtain from the entrance area of the boardroom. When your name is called, please approach the podium and state your name and address for the record. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to speak unless an extension is granted. Again, I note that we received no green cards. Since this is a public hearing, if there is anyone who's present that wants to be heard on this proposition, now would be the time to come forward. Madam Chair, let the record reflect that no one approaches the podium.
All right, thank you. So I need at this time a motion, please, to adopt the final budget resolution.
So moved.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
So motion passed, and did you get the, motion was made by Board Member Armstrong and seconded by Board Member Altman. All right, motion passed. I'm sorry?
She's not finished. Yeah.
What?
Go ahead.
Motion passed, and now we'll close the final public hearing on the proposed
No,
annual
you got
budget. What else?
All the different resolutions.
There's other resolutions.
Right, there's the second resolution.
That has to do with the budget?
Correct. Item 3.
I just asked for the motion to adopt the final budget resolution.
Okay.
I did that.
So it's the,
Oh, look
Oh,
at the
so-
attachment.
Okay. So, number one, well, no, I did number 2, so what
You
am
need
I
number 1
missing?
and number 2.
you got to do 1 and 2.
Okay, I went straight for the big one,
Right,
so
right.
sorry.
That's all right.
So, this is a public announcement of statements as per section 200.65 2D, Florida statutes prior to the millage levy resolution. The taxing authority is the District School Board of Pasco County. The rollback rate is 5.9848 mils. The percentage increase is 1.94%. The millage rate to be levied for 2019-2020 is 6.1010 mils.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, so then I need a motion to adopt the resolution determining revenues and millage levied. Motion,
So moved.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
And the final budget is $1,397,497,590 for fiscal year 2019 and 2020.
I move approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
All right.
I thought because you had already said all that, I didn't realize I had to say it again, so
Okay.
excuse me. Okay, we are done there. Special presentations. Mrs. Cobb, please. Looks like we have the National PTA Schools of Excellence.
Yes, Madam Chairman, school board members, superintendent, Mr. Alfonso. We are recognizing 3 schools for receiving National School of Excellence Awards from the National PTA. And the Pasco County Council PTA also won state awards. And to present this information, I would like to call Denise Nicholas, President of the Pasco County Council PTA.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for your time. Denise Nicholas, Pasco County Council PTA President, 27245 Silver Thatch Drive, Wesley Chapel, Florida, 33544. I would like to open up and say, one, we have a gift for all of you, for all that you do.
Oh.
Superintendent.
I get all these?
Those are our county
It's
council
my
shirts.
color.
Yeah, we need to give the gifts to you all for all the work
Fair
you've done.
enough.
Please don't look at the sizes, they're all kind of just jumbled. Thank you. But we would like to announce to all of you that we have received a few awards this year that we're very proud of. We have received a medal, and I made sure to have the clear bag just in case with security issues. We received a gold medal for our membership increase this year. We're one of the highest increasing membership in the entire state.
Is this one mine?
You or Chairwoman can fight over that. And we would also like to present you with our safety award. We received for all the different safety programs that we've put on for the children throughout the years, and we'd like to present this for all of you to hold it here in the school board and hopefully have more to come with them. But this would include our school safety programs, our suicide prevention and awareness programs, and our water safety programs.
Oh, wonderful.
Thank you so much.
And
Thank you,
that's
thank you.
also a state award as well. Then we have some big news. We have 3 schools have done a phenomenal job. They have received the National School of Excellence. And I'd like to call them up because I believe our principals are in the audience. We have Seven Oaks Elementary PTA, we have River Ridge Middle School PTSA, and Wiregrass Ranch High School PTSA. And I believe Principal White, Principal Butcher, and Principal Murphy are in the audience. As well as their PTAs. And this one is for Principal White. She's up first, of course. There you go for Wiregrass. And Wiregrass submitted, what they've done is they really were able to put the advocacy first. And they had their students as well as parents attend the legislative conference and go up to Tallahassee and speak on behalf of our schools. Next one up is Seven Oaks Elementary, Principal Butcher. And what they did is they went out and they wanted to reach parents. Parents were saying that they wanted to know more about technology and how it affects their students' education. So they had a tech night combined with a science night, and it was very, very successful and was able to reach a lot of families. And then last but not least is River Ridge Middle, and you are now Principal Murphy. And they also were able to reach additional families and students and made a huge impact in their community. But we'd like to congratulate all of them, and they were 3 of 642 proposed national schools within the United States who actually received this. So they beat out the 642.
Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you guys so
And
much.
thanks to you and for all that you do and for all that all of you do. We'll take a.
Shake hands.
Yeah, shake hands, and we'll take a brief recess for a picture.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Absolutely. Thank you.
Rest up.
Just a brief recess. We'll be right back.
Okay, you're on.
All right, thank you for letting us have that brief picture recess. All right, we are on to the public comment portion. And again, green cards were needed to be filled in for agenda topics. And I'm going to turn it over once again to Mr. Alfonso.
Thankfully, Madam Chair, I have nothing to say because we received no green cards.
Okay. So item 5.2, United School Employees of Pasco. Mr. Dompees, would you like to speak?
Superintendent Browning, Attorney Alfonso, Chair Carmely, honorable board members and district staff, good evening. I would like to start my comments tonight by saying to Superintendent Browning that USCP does appreciate being invited into the early discussions for 6 of 6. One of my requests when first elected to this office was to be included in discussions as early as possible. You've done that, so thank you. We are not mad at the district. We just simply don't agree that what has been discussed so far in scheduling is the best move forward for employees. As I stated last week, we will continue to look for answers and have further conversations on how to improve salaries. Clearly, the answer we are looking for is an across-the-board improvement for all. However, having said that, the major difference between us and surrounding districts is the ballot initiative. I think the public understands the need to pay public school teachers for the job that they do. I think they see and feel the tremendous burden being placed on teachers today and are willing to support the concept of keeping highly qualified people working with students. This has been demonstrated both locally and across the state, regardless of party lines. The money that would come from such an initiative would not only help us with salary improvements, but would also allow us to lower the class size, which has become a major issue in many of our schools. People have stated from this podium that the workload placed on them is just as important, if not more so, than the money. Funding for increased allocations would be an answer for that. Finally, regardless of feelings or perceptions, it is imperative for us to keep communications open between USCP and district staff. Outcomes that will affect all students and employees are dependent upon that. Tomorrow evening, both bargaining teams from USEP and the district will jointly return to the table. We hope to work out details with some instructional and SRP language and move forward with the anticipation of settling this year's contract as soon as possible. Hopefully, as we move through this negotiation process, we can all focus on what's best for all of our students and all of our employees to make Pasco the best it can be.
Thank you. Board member committee reports. We'll start with Board Member Harding.
I had none.
All right,
Mrs. Armstrong.
sorry, that's okay. The Health and Wellness Incentive Committee did meet. Unfortunately, I couldn't go to that meeting because I had another meeting to go to. But as always, we're just refining our strategic plan and also had some presentations by community partners. The other meeting I went to is I drove to Orlando, outside of Orlando for the day for the FSBA Legislative Committee meeting where we finalized our platform. I don't have a copy of it for you now because it's still being wordsmithed, but we did get it down to 5 items that we thought were most important, which was very important to us. Last year we had 5 items. We feel like by having fewer items, we can really send a very strong message to the legislators about what our priorities are. You will get a chance to vote on that platform at the FSBA conference in December. So I'll be going to another meeting there to finalize that. It'll go to the board of directors, and then it'll come to the members that are at the meeting.
I had none this past week.
I had none.
And I had none also. Superintendent Browning, did you have?
Just one way of information to the board and the public. We're about to begin the rezoning process that I mentioned both to you and to schools and potentially impacted families back in May. This proposed rezoning may impact Pasco Middle and Pasco High Schools, San Antonio and Quail Hollow Elementary Schools, John Long Middle and Cypress Creek Middle High, as well as Zephyr Hills High, Wesley Chapel High, and Wiregrass Ranch High Schools. The rezoning is primarily related to the August 2020 opening of Cypress Creek Middle School. We plan to hold a parent workshop October 7th from 5 to 8 p.m. at Wiregrass Ranch High School. The first school board public hearing on November 5th, and the final vote on the rezoning on Tuesday, November 19th. A notice with these dates and proposed maps will be published at the end of the week, and we will also post information on both district and school websites. We'll also call potentially impacted families at the end of the week, and we'll post information on the rezoning page of the district website. And that web address is www.pasco.k12.fl.us/planning/page/rezoning/. In addition to the workshop and public hearing, we will again have an electronic form for parents and members of the public to provide feedback that will be shared with the board, and this form will be available on the rezoning website of the district's webpage. Finally, the proposed boundary changes, if approved by the board on the 19th of November, will be effective for the 2020-2021 school year. So I just want to let everybody know what the deal is. So our next big event will be publication this week, and then the public workshop on October 7th at Wiregrass Ranch High School. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Mr. Gadd is not here, so we're going to go straight to Mr. Shibley.
There is an addendum to item 10.1 that has been uploaded into board docs, and that is all that I have this evening.
10.1. All right, thank you. Mrs. Swenson?
We just, sorry, I wasn't ready. Board item number 12.3. We just put this on top of it.
All right, so 12.3, we're adding?
It's
that-
already in.
That's right, okay, very good.
It's on our
That's
desk.
what
It's
she
not on
gave
board
me.
docs.
Okay,
It's on
got
our
it,
on
got
the
it.
dais.
All right,
That's what she just handed to us.
all right, great, thank you, very good. Over to Mrs. Hilton.
I know I already used my 3 minutes, but if you'll indulge me for just a few more. I really want to thank the board as well as our schools and community for the support of our first ever early release days. We had great feedback from schools regarding the resources we provided them as we embark on this district-wide work around social emotional learning aligned to our common vision of instructional excellence. There was so much incredible social media presence that hashtag Pasco SEL was trending last Wednesday. So kudos to all our schools for doing such a great job with that. I've never had that happen before. It was nice. I also wanted to let you know our LEAD program, Aspiring Leaders Kickoff, starts tomorrow. The first session of this year. We'll have another one starting up soon. 100 participants, both instructional and non-instructional folks who are dedicated to this district and invested in their own growth as leaders. And it'll be Mr. Browning and I's privilege to speak to them tomorrow night. I also want to remind you that today is Constitution Day, September 17th. Next week is Celebrate Freedom Week, and required instruction for our schools includes a study of the Declaration of Independence and the reciting of the preamble, which I could do if you wanted, but I'll spare you that. I have a couple people I'd like to introduce today or recognize. Mary Grace Romo, who is in our Office of Early Childhood Education. I don't know where my brain went. Mary Grace Romo was elected to the Florida Head Start Association Board of Directors. Stand up, Mary Grace.
This is a great honor and privilege, and I want to make sure you understand the leverage that this gives us. Pasco County Head Start will have a voice to represent all the programs in Florida. The Florida Head Start Association decisions are then recommended to the National Head Start Association, which will influence Head Start and Early Head Start recommendations across the nation. So congratulations. We're so proud of you, Mary Grace.
Very proud. Great job.
I also would like to introduce to you Miss Claire Ennis. If you could stand up, please. 12 years ago, Miss Claire Ennis began teaching at Hudson Elementary School, and last week her name was on your agenda for promotion to assistant principal at Hudson Elementary. She also has taught at Ritchie Elementary, Cody River Elementary, while earning her ed leadership degree from St. Leo University. During that time, she's taught a variety of grades: kindergarten, first, third, fifth, and then was the literacy coach at Anclote Elementary School last year, supporting their turnaround, and now is returning to Hudson Elementary to help lead that school in turnaround.
And I know Mr. Anthony is very happy.
Yeah. Her parents are out of state, but one of her biggest fans, her daughter, Ava, who's super cute, is here with her, as well as Mr. Anthony, the Hudson Elementary School principal. So thank you for approving her. Congratulations and welcome. We're so glad that you're at Hudson Elementary.
Oh, excellent. Excellent.
Hashtag. And then lastly for me, I would like to invite up Miss Leah Mitchell, Director of Leading and Learning. She's going to provide some additional details about the competitive GATES grant we talked about last week to give you some more details.
Great. Welcome, Leah. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you guys so much for having me up just to share a few details about the Bill and Melinda Gates Professional Learning Partnership Grant. And so I'm just going to give you a high-level overview, and I'll be able to provide a more detailed document about the full layout if you'd like. And so it really is a professional learning partnership grant that is bringing together a number of key partners. Bill and Melinda Gates serves as the funding partner for the work. We also have partnered with TNTP, previously known as the New Teacher Project. Open Up Resources, which is the curriculum provider of the mathematics curriculum that was selected last year, as well as Better Lesson. And they are a professional learning service provider that were key and integral in the writing of the Open Up Resource or illustrative math curriculum. And they are the only ones nationally with this curriculum who have been there since the beginning, providing professional development. And so it's really the only partner or only organization that has people who've taught that program and that curriculum, coached it, and are now providing professional development, which we feel really lucky to have them in our work. So all of us collectively are able to offer at least 3 touch points of service to a school each month. So I'm going to talk really about how each stakeholder is supported through this grant. So our teachers, our most important people in this work, the ones with our kids every day, they will be offered and are engaging in 6 virtual workshops. And those virtual workshops are held on the early release days, and they are weaving together the concepts and principles of illustrative mathematics, which is a problem-based approach to learning mathematics, with social emotional learning. Because what we know is that in order to really move forward our mathematics learning, we have to have a significant amount of discourse and problem solving with our peers, and that really is where we highlight social emotional learning. And so through those virtual workshops, they'll be digging in deep to the math, but also how to get kids talking about, practicing, and problem solving with the mathematics. They will also be supported, our teachers, by the teacher leaders and PLC facilitators who guide the work of the teacher teams. All of those PLC facilitators or teacher leaders participate in the early release. They also have monthly individualized coaching with a one-on-one coach through Better Lesson. And so it's personalized to them. And the focus is to prepare them with the concepts and supports they need in order to facilitate and guide their PLCs in doing and analyzing student work, selecting tasks, and really being thoughtful around the implementation. So our teachers and then our teacher leaders. On top of that, schools that have coaches, so our most at-risk schools typically have coaches supporting that work. The coaches will be engaged in all that the teachers and teacher leaders are engaged in. They have an additional layer, partially because those coaches have implemented Open Up previously. Their focus is still on the mathematics, but also on the 4 resources that were recommended through the Opportunity Myth. And so our coaches will really be spending a lot of time understanding how to best leverage high expectations, rigorous instruction or high impact instruction, meaningful and rich experiences for our students through Open Up, and how that curriculum uplifts those resources in order to ensure access and equity for all of our students. Along with our coaches doing that work monthly at their coaches meetings with the teacher work and all of that, we also are emphasizing the supports for our school leaders, and that really is where TNTP is the primary partner. Our school leaders will also engage in significant learning and work around leveraging the resources in the Opportunity Myth within mathematics instruction, and we have incredible leaders, and so we know that what they learn in leveraging those resources through mathematics in this grant will also be ported likely to other content areas, and so we definitely feel like that's a win-win. Outside of the direct services to the stakeholders that will be provided by all of the partners, there will be ongoing data analysis for all of it to really measure our own implementation, how it's working through student achievement, but also what I think we're most excited about is bringing and leveraging student voice. And so throughout the entirety of the grant, we will be hosting focus groups with our students and with our parents to hear from them, how is it going, how do you feel about your own relationship with mathematics, because as you know, the higher students rise in their education, often their own feelings around mathematics can part and at times create barriers for their future if they don't really feel awesome about it. And so that is something I believe we're really excited about within this grant, is both from our communities and our families, but really most importantly, how we can leverage student voice in moving forward the work that we're doing. Wrapped in all of this over the course of the 2 years is constant monitoring and data tracking that we'll do as a department in partnership with TNTP. It's really an equity tracker to make sure we're doing absolutely everything we can to open access, leverage opportunity for every student. And I think most importantly, and what is most exciting as a resident in Pasco County and a taxpayer, is that really this grant is awarded at no cost to us. We're not having to come out of the pocket for anything other than the materials, which we would have done for our students anyway. The staff that we have aligned to support, we would have had here anyway. And so everything that this grant is offering to us through the competition that we won is additive to our students, to our teachers, and to our stakeholders. And so we really are incredibly proud to be one of the 12 systems and partnership groups selected to receive this grant.
Thank you.
Madam Chairman, did you mention that it was a $1 million grant and we were one of 12 districts in the country?
It's a $1 million grant. We were one of 12 districts.
I just want to make sure
in
that
the
you
entire
mentioned that it was a
country.
$1 million grant and we were
Thank you
one
for
of,
asking for
one
that
of 12
clarification.
districts
One of 12
in the United
of us.
States to accept, to
Well,
get this grant.
it is budget night, so that's a good night to
Good
hear
deal.
that.
Yeah, and so I definitely want to
And-
emphasize, we don't
and-
have to come out of
and
pocket.
To clarify,
to be able
it's
to engage
district-wide.
this.
It is district-wide.
District-wide,
and it's
every
$1
middle
million,
school.
Every-
middle
and
they
we're
all
one of
get it.
12
It's
districts
all
in the
middle
country.
schools.
Yes.
But let me, in all seriousness, let me just give a quick shout out to, and just staff. I'll just say staff. They know who they are. I know I'm going to say Michelle Kernan in grants, and Leah and her team, and Vanessa, and I'm sure Marcy and the whole crew that worked so tirelessly. I mean, the Gates Foundation was down here. They met with us. We walked them through our schools. They were overly impressed about the things that we were doing in middle school math. And what's impressive to me, being one that doesn't particularly care for math, is that
You're killing me here.
I know, but I don't care for it, but I think it's important, is that with our Eureka curriculum in the elementary schools, we now have a curriculum in the middle schools that, what I noticed when we were going through the sixth grade math classes at Cypress Creek, was that kids were doing in sixth grade, teachers did not have to stop and try to explain something to them. They'd already learned that because of the Eureka math curriculum. And it's just a seamless connection between what we're doing, what we've been doing in elementary school, and what we're going to be doing starting this year in middle school. great things are ahead for it, but I just wanted to give a quick shout out to all those folks throughout this district that work tirelessly
Yes.
to ensure our successful award of this grant. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much.
I have
It's
to
our
say
pleasure.
something because it's math, but I really do appreciate it, and I think this is really going to bridge that,
think so,
because of Eureka, like you said, Mr. Browning, and I mean, research shows that in fourth grade, students think they're good in math and they like it, and in eighth grade, they think that they don't like it and they don't think they're good at it. So this is the perfect intervention, so I'm really excited that we're doing it. So thank
We're
you.
Did we say
excited
it was a
too.
$1 million grant?
Million bucks, 1 in 12.
It's vital
Thank
for
you
this
so
math to
much.
be this strong, and it's exciting.
It is. Thank you guys for the
so
opportunity.
much.
Thank you.
And since Mrs. Kuhn was outside of the room, I'll go back to you.
Thank you.
before
I
we get to
appreciate that.
Mrs. Hexler-Nettles.
I'd just like to recognize two of our construction managers. You have on your agenda tonight items 11.1, and you have Mike Dumas and Lori Rice, who are here from Ajax, and they'll be working on the Bexley wing. So I wanted to recognize them and thank them for coming this evening. And then also item 11.2, we have Tony Rouse from the Williams Company, and the Williams Company will be working on the wing at Sun Lake. So I wanted to recognize him as well. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us tonight. Appreciate it. Okay, Mrs. Hexler-Nettles.
Good evening. Some great news I would like to share with you is that we recently received our Cambridge Lower Secondary Checkpoint data, and that would be for the assessments that Paul R. Smith students and Pasco Middle students take in the Cambridge program. Very exciting information in this scores, in that we received 6 of the checkpoint areas increased over their scores from last year. New this year, or last school year, but new results for this year. The Global Perspectives course, which 71 of our 74 students scored a passing score on that. This is the first year that we've offered it, and passing this assessment is required in high school level in order to earn the ACE diploma. So our middle schoolers already have that much of a jump, which is really exciting to see. And then for every content area, the score ranges fell in the 3.0 to 4.0 area, which means students have a sound understanding of the curriculum content. We continue to be very impressed by both schools and their commitment to Cambridge, and we know they're going to be a fantastic resource for Hudson Middle as they come on board. Additionally, there is a new program or designation from Cambridge, and Pasco Middle School does intend to apply to be recognized as the newly designated Cambridge International School Demonstration Center. That is an application process, and what it does is more formally acknowledge the exemplary schools that are effectively engaging with the Cambridge program and implementing the curriculum with fidelity. So they've been invited to apply, and they will undergo a thorough review as part of that process, and I hope to bring a successful answer on that in the near future. Thank you.
Mrs. Poe?
Good evening. Just want to share that Channel 10 News and Publix teamed up and did a school tools drive. It's called Tools for School Deliveries, and they picked 10 schools in the Tampa Bay area. 2 of them happen to be our Pasco County elementary schools. So one on the west is Chasco Elementary. They had their delivery of 40 boxes full of school supplies today, so that will be airing this evening on Channel 10. And then on Thursday, they'll be delivering 50 boxes to Woodland Elementary. So we're grateful for their partnership and their support of our schools, and we feel lucky to have been chosen 2 of the 10. So I wanted to celebrate and thank those community partners. And then I have an exciting announcement to make. I had this book delivered to my desk today, and it's pretty special because one of the authors happens to be one of our elementary principals, Principal Julie Marks at Chester Taylor Elementary. She co-wrote a book with Nancy Sulla and Tanya Bosco with the IDE Corporation, and it highlights the work that she's doing at Chester Taylor with the LATIC model. LATIC stands for Learner Active Technology Infused Classroom, and if you're interested in ever seeing that in action, definitely make your way out to Zephyr Hills and visit Chester Taylor. So wanted to celebrate her. I sent her a text letting her know that I was doing that today, and she's like, really? She is not one who will toot her own horn and will celebrate this, but a huge honor. And our district is definitely highlighted greatly in this book. Thank you.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Dr. Isles?
Yes, I just wanted to let you know that CRIN actually went out and solicited donations so they could be a part of Mission 14. It's put on by the National Center for Earth and Space Science Education, and they are basically going to be working with students to submit science experiments and also art patches for the mission, and it will be going up into space. So it's kind of neat. That'll happen in the spring, so I'll be telling you more about that as they go along. Also, we had the NJROTC program at Gulf High School. They placed third and will be going on to state for their academic team. So it was a huge success because last year they placed 24th. So we're really proud of them. It's wonderful. We also had Full Sail University that worked with Pasco High School's journalism department and basically helped students create short stop motion animation movies. So I just want to recognize that we're bringing in universities, getting kids into activities that they typically would not get involved in. And then I would be remiss if I did not talk about our National Merit semifinalists. Basically, students who take the PSAT are recognized when they're in the top 1% across the United States. So I don't have all the names, but I do just want to recognize the schools and the number of students. We have Cypress Creek Middle High School, 1 student, Wiregrass Ranch High School, 1 student, J.W. Mitchell High School, 3 students, Pasco High School, 2 students, Gulf High School, 4 students, and Land O'Lakes High School, 9 students.
So 20, national merit?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Exceptional.
I've seen that go up tremendously since.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
I
Great.
just have one announcement,
Dr.
and that
Skanga?
is congratulations to West Zephyr Hills Elementary. They received the Leadership and Youth Involvement Award from the Chamber of Commerce in Zephyr Hills. So congrats to them.
Great. All right, thank you. All right, so on to expulsion recommendations and hearings, and fortunately, we have none. Yay. On to the consent agenda, and we're going to, we have an addendum to 10.1, and I would need a motion to approve.
Move to approve with the addition of the addendum on 10.1.
Second,
Okay,
right?
Or did we need to?
Or do we have to discuss?
does anybody want to, wait a second.
The only
Does
comment-
anyone have any
Well, the
item
only
to
comment I
remove?
was going to
Sorry.
make, Madam Chair, has already
Sorry.
been made.
It's okay.
But, I'm sorry.
No, it was my fault. I just wondered if anybody had anything to remove. I should have said that already, my fault.
No, but I did want to comment since I served on the committee. 11.1 and 11.2, we talked about, superintendent's already mentioned it, and you mentioned it, but both Ajax and Williams were selected after 15 companies, and that those projects are on the fast track, so there's no need to pull them and discuss them since they've already been mentioned, but we are moving ahead with those to help with crowding in those schools, and they're working well with our team. We appreciate their partnership.
Great, yeah, we do. Thank you so much. And so nobody had anything to pull. Pardon me, I kind of flip-flopped that tonight. Okay, so we've already made the motion and seconded it, and did you get
Okay.
that? Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Okay, so we are on to some miscellaneous action items. We have some proclamations. And we have 15.1, point 2, and point 3. I know Mrs. Bodwin has printed out those proclamations. Did you all want to read them first? 15.1?
Okay, so I've got that one.
Okay.
Okay.
First, should we do a motion first, or does it matter?
At this point, no, I think
I
you
can
should
read
take
it and then
as
make
the-
the motion?
Okay.
That's fine.
Go ahead, we'll read it.
Okay, so 15.1 is a proclamation for Disability History and Awareness Weeks. So, this is really hard to read. Okay, proclamation recognizing the first 2 weeks of October as Disability History and Awareness Weeks and encouraging our schools to provide instruction on disability history, people with disabilities, and the disability rights movement. Whereas there are approximately 401,000 students with disabilities in Florida's K-12 education system, and the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990 is founded on 4 principles: inclusion, full participation, economic self-sufficiency, and equality of opportunity for all people with disabilities. And key methods of promoting these 4 principles for our schools to recognize the contributions made by people with disabilities and the disability rights movement through school curriculum, school assemblies, and other school activities. And the Florida legislature also encourages cooperation among the school system, post-secondary institutions, and the community at large to promote better treatment and fair hiring practices for people with disabilities. Hence, therefore, be it proclaimed that the District School Board of Pasco County encourages schools to provide instruction on disability history, people with disabilities, and the disability rights movement, especially during the first 2 weeks of October, but also throughout the school year, and encourages other institutions to conduct and promote educational activities on these subjects. Be it further proclaimed that the first 2 weeks of October be recognized as Disability History and Awareness Weeks in Pasco County schools.
Okay.
And I see our schools do that a lot, actually. They do. They do that a lot. So I think I have to do a motion on this one.
I'll make a motion that we approve that proclamation.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion made by Armstrong and approved by, or seconded by Bodwin. Thank you. Okay, 15.2, proclamation on the National Bullying Prevention Month. Did somebody have that one?
Yes,
All
I
right,
can read
Mrs.
that one.
Armstrong, thank you.
All right, proclamation recognizing October 2019 as Bullying Prevention Month. Whereas creating a safe school environment is essential to providing a world-class education for all students, and whereas 1 in 3 U.S. students say they have been bullied at school, and over 70% of U.S. students that say they have witnessed bullying at school. And whereas bullying can have devastating effects on students' physical health, emotional well-being, and academic achievement, and whereas 57% of the time when a bystanders intervene, bullying stops within 10 seconds. And whereas the District School Board of Pasco County has developed a comprehensive policy for preventing and responding to bullying, including training for students and staff. And whereas Pasco County Schools, Together We Stand Student Leadership Initiative is committed to giving our students a voice in preventing bullying and uniting families, educators, and community partners in creating a safe, supportive schools. And whereas the District School Board of Pasco County further commits its resources to promoting a safe, secure, and welcoming school environment and putting an end to all forms of bullying. And therefore, the School Board of Pasco County does hereby join the nation in recognizing October as Bullying Prevention Month as a symbol of our commitment to creating a culture of caring and respect for all members in our school community.
Move
Thank
to
you.
approve.
Second?
Okay, motion made by Board Member Bodwin, seconded by Board Member Harding. All in favor?
Aye.
15.3, proclamation, National Custodial Workers Recognition Day. Mrs. Harding.
Okay, so this is a proclamation recognizing the National Custodial Workers Recognition Day. Whereas custodians are the unsung heroes of our schools and offices. They are hardworking individuals who dedicate countless hours to providing a clean and safe environment for our students, staff, and community. And whereas custodians are willing to learn and adapt to new technologies to make our facilities better for years to come. And whereas a custodian's day often starts before the sun rises and some work past sunset. They begin the day raising the flag, mowing lawns, cleaning up after breakfast and lunches, and maintaining and closing down stadiums. And whereas they work tirelessly during the summer months, getting our schools clean, painting walls, waxing floors, and washing desks to create an environment for students, staff, and the community to be proud of. And whereas they greet the students in the morning and sometimes are the first smiling faces that a child sees. And whereas each year on October 2nd, National Custodial Workers Recognition Day is observed. And whereas we are proud to recognize our district custodians, not only for their hard work, but also, most importantly, for the impact they have on our students' education. So we declare it to be proclaimed by the District School Board of Pasco County that October 2nd is recognized as National Custodial Workers Recognition Day.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Motion to
Move
approve?
to approve?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Thank you. All right, individual board member reports. Can we start with you at that end again?
Yes.
Okay.
It's short tonight.
Don't worry, we shuffle at,
Yeah,
in
we did.
November.
We
so
played it
we're-
up.
We're going to shuffle everybody around.
I wanted to thank everybody in the district. I know I had a lot of positive feedback for the first early release day, so I was really happy. So I wanted to thank all the principals, even the parents that came and got their students on times. It was just really, really awesome, and I know that time was very appreciated by our staff. I had a principal that actually told me it was so awesome that her SRPs got to join her teachers, and she just said it just felt like her whole family was together, and they don't get that a lot, so that made my heart so happy. And I also wanted to thank you, Melissa. I asked for an opportunity to learn about the social emotional learning that our teachers are, and you set me up at San Antonio, so I appreciate that. I got to read aloud to one of our kindergarten classes at Daystrom Academy, and it was so much fun because I got to transform into a superhero, and we got to talk about the importance of recycling, so that was a lot of fun. And I also had the honor of attending the 9/11 memorial event at Sims Park. It was such a beautiful tribute to all those lives that were lost in 2001. Our students from all over the county created beautiful art pieces. And students from Odessa Elementary, Seven Springs Middle School, and Mitchell High School did an amazing job singing all about our great country. They brought me to tears and reminded me that there's still so much good in this world, even on the saddest of days. So I wanted to thank the city of Newport Richey for putting on such a beautiful event, and I also wanted to thank Mr. Dunn for being there because he was there to capture all of our students' performances, so thank you. I got to speak at Gulf Highlands Civic Association, and we talked about all the safety and all the initiatives that we have in place to ensure our students are safe. I also got to read to some of the kindergartners, the Read to Me students at Wesley Chapel Elementary School. If you're ever having a rough day, just go read to a kindergarten class. They will just cheer you up in 2 seconds. I wanted to thank Mrs. Landry, the learning design coach, for inviting me, and I get to go back this Friday, so I'm so excited. And also, their STEM lab is so awesome. It is so cool. They have so many different types of animals in there. It's really fun. And then yesterday, I got to go visit Cody River Elementary School, and I wanted to thank Mrs. Lucer for taking the time to show me around her campus. As soon as you walked on that campus, it was such a positive and happy environment. So I love that they cultivate that culture. So amazing things are happening there.
Mrs. Armstrong.
All right. Well, I had fun at football games. Two Fridays ago, I attended the Mitchell Land of Lakes game at Mitchell High School. And then this last Friday, I went to Gulf High School, and they played Anclote. It's just a great opportunity to go out and see teachers and principals and students and families just out there having a great experience, and bands playing. Really enjoy seeing all the extracurricular activity going on, the support of the community.
Thanks. Ms. Bodwin.
I got to attend the 9/11 memorial service put out by the retired firefighters of Spring Hill. And then I just had two things. I wanted to thank Mr. Shibley and staff for looking into the messenger application on my student, and also wanted to thank him and staff for working on the proposal to address the concern about the teachers taking leaves, school leaves to go work at charter schools. So thanks for working on both those things.
Okay, I attended the 9/11 ceremony at Gulf High School, and kudos to new principal there, Jeff Morgenstein. It was put on completely by the students, and it was moving and solemn and beautiful, and it made me cry at the end when they played taps. And Dr. Isles already brought up about their ROTC there. They have 165 kids in their ROTC, and they were just positioned perfectly, like they look like a small unit of the military, just right. Well, they kind of are, but ready to march. It was stunning. It was beautiful, and like I said, the taps at the end. That's when I lost it. So that was beautiful. That's all I have, and moving on to. Our distinguished attorney, Mr. Alfonso, have you anything for us?
I have nothing, thank you, Madam Chair.
After that introduction?
I was thinking about trying to come up with something, but I couldn't.
I'm just nothing with you. Thank you so much. Okay, on to public comment on non-agenda items, pink cards. That would have already been filled in. I'm going to turn it over to Mr.